Welcome back, Crib Baby ENT. Y'all know what's up. Y'all know what's going on with it right now, y'all. We finna go ahead and get into this Shannon Sharpe
I'm surprised
interview
by that.
with Lue, Tyronn Lue. Y'all know he was the coach. He was the coach over a couple of basketball teams, man. Great coach, y'all. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's a legend, bro. He is a great coach. Let's get into it. Also, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, y'all. We got a couple more days until I do the $200 raffle, so y'all know what time it is. Let's do it.
He posted a video. He was working at the Clippers facilities.
Yeah, I know. I seen that. Yeah, I saw that.
What that mean?
I don't even know if I can speak on that.
Get to the
He's a
parts.
coach that authored the greatest comeback in finals history with his team down 3-1 with two of the last three games on the road. And don't forget that Warriors team had the best regular season record in NBA history at 73-9. He helped the Cleveland Cavaliers win their first and only NBA title. He's the Olympic gold medal winning coach, first team all in Big 12 point guard selection. His number 10 is retired by the University of Nebraska. He has a street named after himself in his hometown of Mexico, Missouri. The current head coach of the Los Angeles Clippers
Mizzou.
that led them to the first ever conference finals. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Tyronn Lue.
So,
T. Lue, what do you do, man?
how you doing?
I'm
I
good,
ain't know
bro.
he was from the Lou.
When
He's from the Lou. I ain't know he was from the
Future
Lou,
of your
huh?
business is here. With Wix, you get advanced AI capabilities.
Not
growing up in
St.
Mexico,
Louis though, but
Missouri, if
Missouri. My
somebody
bad.
would
I'm
have
tripping.
told 10-year-old Ty Lue, you're going to be an NBA player and you're going to play on with two of the greatest players in NBA history. You'll later become a head coach and you'll all be author the greatest comeback in NBA Finals history. If somebody would have told 10-year-old Tyronn Lue that, what would you have told him?
Hell no. Hell no. But I mean, you always dream and
Yes.
dream big.
Right.
You put the work in, but to like come this far from where I come from, it's crazy. It's crazy to believe. And like I said, been blessed. Like I talk about it all the time. Just come from Mexico, Missouri, a small town where we call it one way in, no way out.
Wow,
And
wow.
so to make it out and be able to help the people I've been able to help is just a blessing.
My brother tells the story all the time. It's like coming from rural South Georgia, where there's really no one that you like. If you're in LA, you might see someone that you might aspire to be like. Or you come from a big Chicago or New York, you might bump into a Jay-Z or you see a Kanye. But when you're from a small rural town and there's really no one from that hometown that's ever gotten out and become what we call be on television or be on the radio, how hard was it for you to find motivation to want to leave Mexico, Missouri?
It was hard, but I idolized my uncle Jay Graves.
Okay.
He played basketball. He wore number 10, so I wanted to wear number 10. And he just taught me a lot about the game. But like you said, it was no one to look up to and idolize because TV wasn't, games on TV wasn't big back then.
Right.
So you just kind of had to pick the people who you wanted to be like.
Right.
And outside of my uncle, the other guys I want to be like, it would have been going in the right direction.
Yeah, you never left Mexico.
But you see them with all the cars, with
Right.
all the money, and that's kind of like what you inspire to be.
Right.
Just having money, just being able to do what you want to do. And so I was, like I said, blessed and thankful that I was able to get out.
Little Mexico. It's a couple places that's called Little Mexico in the U.S. Couple places, but I know that dream he talking about. I had that dream before.
Fast forward, here we are now. You're the head coach of the Clippers. Big acquisitions this offseason. You make the trade for Bradley Beal. Chris Paul comes back after 4 or 5 years away from the Clippers. Kawhi seems to be finally healthy because he started to play really, really well down the stretch last year. James Harden, you re-sign him. The Bill, the Chris Paul, are those the missing ingredients? What do you guys need to do? Because OKC ain't going nowhere.
Right.
Houston traded for that 7-foot monster.
Right.
We know he's the elite scorer, and when you pair him with what they already got, Şengün, and they got Van Fleet, and they got Thompson, what do you guys need to do, T. Lue, to make sure you guys are playing in the conference finals with a chance to go to the NBA finals?
I think the biggest thing for us is just health. I think when you start the season and your best players, aren't available when they're hurt,
Right.
You got to play a different style of basketball until they're able to come back.
Right.
And that kind of hurt us last year. Like we had to play a style just to win games to try to stay afloat. We
Right.
really didn't have a flow or a system how we wanted to play because our best player was out. He
Right.
played.
He not lying though. Like, you mother freakers need to stay healthy. Like, y'all becoming unhealthy for no reason. Why? I don't know why, but y'all got all this money, bro. Y'all shouldn't be out clubbing, bro. Like, this is a job. Y'all need to stay healthy, bro. You're not lying.
Last year, and like I think 8 or 9 of them like was at 20-minute restriction. So
Yeah.
we leaned a lot on James.
Right.
James was great. Zoo was great.
Yes.
Nick Batum.
Norman Powell.
Norman Powell
yeah.
was great, and then Derrick Jones Jr. had a career year. Chris Dunn had a career year. So guys stepped up, and we took on a mentality, and we took on like we're gonna be a defensive-minded, tough team, and that's who we became.
Right.
And so James led the way, I think, with his leadership. I think Norm, being able to score the way he did, Zubac, getting
Went
better.
to another level.
Yeah, went to another level. I thought it was good for us, and we had an identity. It
Right.
was defense. And then when Kawhi came back, you try to integrate him into something that's been working. Now you get your best player back. It's kind of tough, to do that.
Because they've been playing one way, and now you bring this guy in.
Yeah. So this year, like I said, just starting camp. Kawhi's healthy, and we know when he has a camp and he's healthy, he's a monster.
Right.
James is back. We got Brooke Lopez,
Yeah.
who's huge for us. I think another big body we can throw at Joker. We're
Yeah.
playing against Denver. Like,
Right.
When Zoo's out of the game, we've always been small. And
Right.
so he's punished us inside, being able to score. And we had a double team. Now he's picking me apart with passing. So just for us being healthy, I think, for majority of the season, I think we got a chance to do some special things.
Does Bradley Beal coming in, does he replace what you lost with Norman Powell because you had to move Norman Powell? He moves on. And Powell, he's explosive. He's an explosive scorer. Now, we know where Bradley Beal was in Washington. He went to the All-Star game. He averaged 30 for a couple of years. So we know he can score. But that's not necessarily what you need from him.
Yeah, I think, Norm, like I said, led a team in scoring last year and had a career year. He was phenomenal. And you lose a guy like Norm, it's always tough to make up for that. But Bradley Beal, like you said, who's been a perennial All-Star, who's averaged 30 a couple times in his career, he's definitely going to be a big help for us offensively.
Right.
And so we're going to need him to score, but outside of scoring, we're going to need him to make plays for other guys too.
Right.
Because he's going to draw 2 or 3 guys, and he can make a pass, he can make a play. And then defensively, he's always been good, but you got to challenge him every night.
Right.
Like, if he's on like bad players, like he's not as good. But when he's guarding a guy that can play, he's a really good defender.
Right.
And so we need his total all-around package. And when you play for a team like Phoenix, like he did the last couple of years, you got Booker and KD, and you're the third option. Like, people like, oh, well, he averaged 18 points, shot 50% from the field, and
Right.
43% from three.
Right.
So I
That's
mean, those are unbelievable stats.
Right.
But when you're playing with KD and Book, it kind of gets overshadowed. And so I think, by coming here, I think he gets a fresh start. I think he's going to be great for us.
How difficult is it, T. Lue, to get a guy when he's been the guy where he was, to get him to come in and says, that's not what we need here? Because he's not. It's going to be Kawhi. It's going to be James Harden. And I think he's, like you said, he's had good numbers, but I think he struggled because when you go from 30 to 18, that's a big, and people look at you different. They talk about you different.
Right. But the talk really doesn't matter because you don't know how the team is structured and how they want to play.
Okay.
He might took a back seat to KD and Book, like, listen, I'm going to guard the best player. If y'all need me, I'm going to be here. But I don't think, with our team, he'll get lost in the sauce because James is such a great passer.
Yes.
He makes it easier for everybody to play the game. And we're going to need him to score. We don't need him to come in and try to be somebody else. We
Right.
need him to be who he is.
Okay.
And so keeping him involved and engaged offensively is going to be huge for us because he can do a lot of stuff. He can cut, catch and shoot.
Yes.
He can come off screens.
Right.
He can handle the ball as a secondary ball handler. So he can do a lot of things offensively. And so we want him to come in and be who he is, not trying to fit in.
Chris Paul, you bring him back. What are your expectations? Because I think, what is CP going into his 20th season?
Yeah.
20th season, and
20th season. Y'all, let that shit sink in, bro. 20th season, bro. Fuck.
he's still a quality assist guy. Now he's not the scorer that he once was, but you might not need him to give you that kind of offense, but you need somebody that can move the ball. He is a pure point guard. He's looking to pass the ball first. What are your expectations from CP?
Yeah, kind of same thing with Bradley Beal. Just being who you are, and when you get older in age and you played so long in the league, your main goal is to win.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think they're at the point
Facts.
in their careers where we just want to win,
Right.
whatever it takes. But CP, being 40 years old and playing 82 games last.
42? Bruh, the NBA, bro, when it come to age and being able to do what you can do, bruh, it is way higher than the NFL. Boy, it's some people in the NFL, but them motherfuckers got lucky, bruh. That's close to that age, but bruh.
Year.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, so he's
Nobody
done
plays 82 anymore,
right.
unless you're Mikal Bridges.
Right. And so he has done a great job as far as just changing his diet, how he eats, how he
Right.
trains, and he's going to be huge for us. I
Right.
think for our young guys, as far as teaching them how to work, teaching them how to be professional, and then like you said, being a hell of a passer and creator, and he takes care of the basketball. He doesn't turn the ball over, so that's huge for us.
But you do realize when you bring these players in, combined
That
with the
nigga got
players
so
that you
much
already
money.
have, expectations goes up exponentially.
Yeah.
You know what's expected of you guys, and you guys just happen to be the oldest team in the NBA. See, how'd that happen?
If you don't have expectations, you don't have a chance to win.
Okay.
And so you should never shy away from that. As a coach, you should be running to that.
Right.
Having a chance to compete for a championship, that's all you can ask for.
Right.
Just having a chance to compete, because it's about 20 teams that come in every season and they don't have a chance to really win.
Correct.
And so for me, I think we really have a real shot. Like I said, with the guys we acquired this summer, with the guys we had here last year, with a healthy Kawhi, I think we really do have a chance to be an elite team. And so it's going to take a lot of work, but we can get there.
How important?
If you're a man who makes at least
Damn.
150 grand a year and you're still embarrassed to take your shirt off at the pool, I will get you shredded.
Important was for you guys to get into your own building, because as long as you stayed in Staples or the Crib or whatever they call it, it's really hard to have an identity, because the Lakers have been there so long.
Yeah.
They've won so much in that building, especially not so much in the last 15 years, excuse me. But, with Shaq and Kobe, everybody remembers that. And now you got the Lakers, and now you got LeBron in that building. You got Luka.
Yeah.
How important was it for you guys, T. Lue, to get your own building?
Well, it was important. And I know, everyone makes the rivalry, the Clippers, Lakers, whatever. But to me, it's more about the city of LA. And so when I first came here as a rookie, it's all I knew, and they embraced me. And just being here for the people in the city of LA it means the most to me.
Right.
And so if you're a Lakers fan, if we're not playing the Clippers not playing the Lakers, you should be a Clippers fan.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's us against the world.
That's how it is, low key. Low key, with all honesty, that's how it is in Texas. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like Texas is going to root for Texas teams if unless it comes down to specific areas and certain people from specific areas. That's the only time when they'll be like, "Oh, I'm with. Oh, yeah, they gonna win. Oh, yeah, they better than y'all." Other than that, if you got Houston playing a whole different team out of state, you got people from Dallas rooting for Houston. If you got Dallas playing people from different state, you got people from Houston that's gonna be rooting for Dallas. Like when it comes to being behind their state out here, I ain't gonna lie to you, they good at it. I give Texas that. They good at it.
And so that's kind of
That's how they view it, though.
I know, I said, but I wish they would.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was great for us to kind of, like you said, Mr. Barber, when he bought the team, he said, "I'm going to build us an arena." And so, it took some time, and he did that.
Right.
And so to have our own home and a place where you can leave your shoes in a locker room,
Right.
and have to move it out every time we left to go on the road or a concert came in.
Right.
It's huge for us
Right.
to have a place called home, and it's beautiful. I mean, they've done a great job of just everything they've done with that. Nothing was left out.
Nothing was spared. He spared no expense.
Nothing.
Reports are, and you can correct this, that Kawhi trained until the end of the playoffs. Is that true? He trained, he put his body, he was doing the playoffs was going on, even though he wasn't playing. And so when the Thunder and the who they play? The Pacers, when they ended, Kawhi, took a break, and now he started back up.
Yeah.
Why do you think it was important for him to do that?
I think just training his mind to be able to play and get to the
That long.
finals. Yeah, like our season was over, like we got beat by Denver in Game 7, but to keep training and keep playing and just pushing your body to that point of extra 2 months of the season, like that's tough.
Right.
Like, and to train your mind and train your body, that's what he's getting ready for. So
Right.
I love that.
It's hard. I mean, because you're as a player, you play, and you see how great Kawhi is when he plays. And for some reason, his body has betrayed him. Sometimes, not all the time, because when he's healthy, it's hard to say he might not. He's borderline top 5, but he ain't getting out of the top 10
Right.
when he's healthy. Now you can
Yeah.
say whatever because he can still defend. Now he's not the defender.
He not lying, bro. I go with Kawhi. Kawhi tough, but it's the injuries though. He be having injuries, man. But at the end of the day, he just said something. He right. Kawhi be holding it down. Kawhi be holding it down, bro. Kawhi be holding it down, y'all. Hey, man, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, man. Y'all know what time it is. As I said, it's Crib Baby ENT. Hey, y'all, we finna run it up, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all, I'm gonna say it again. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Why should I subscribe, Los? Because if you don't, you a hater, bro. Like, let's run it up together, y'all. I'm out.